Well, my lovelies, well, I just felt the need to do a video on this. You know, at 59 years old, I've seen governments come and go. I've seen it all. I witnessed the Thatcher years, the lot. And I've seen governments make the most horrific decisions, the most stupid decisions. I've seen it, where your mouth will drop open and think, how can they not see that that's not going to go down well with the public, or it's going to cause problems? But I read this about Jess Phillips, the Home Office Minister, and it's just got me to the point where I think, with this Labour government, it's just getting to be, we're all falling down one huge rabbit hole because it's so bizarre. Now, I'll explain what I think is the most absolutely, I can't even put into words. What I'll do, I'll read it first, then I'll say what's actually got me on this most. And it may not be what you think it is. Home Office Minister Jess Phillips appeared to make a stunning confession about being given preferential treatment during a recent A&E visit due to her support for a ceasefire in Gaza. The Labour MP discussed an incident where her lips had gone blue and she could not breathe. The 42-year-old revealed that when she got to the hospital, she believes that she received preferential treatment and was seen quicker. She told attendees of an Evening with Jess Phillips event at Kiln Theatre, good God, I got through because of who I am. Also, the doctor who saw me was Palestinian. As it turns out, almost all the doctors in Birmingham seem to be, if you don't say, there's a shock, I must say, not. Phillips, who resigned from Keir Starmer's front bench after voting for a ceasefire, added, "He was sort of like, I like you, you voted for a ceasefire. Because of that, I got through quicker." This admission caused a lot of anger, with some slamming the NHS for having two-tier standards. Matt Goodwin said Labour MP Jess Phillips says she got preferential treatment on the NHS because of her views. Two-tier NHS now? Question mark. The Adam Smith Institute's Sam Bidwell added, by Jess Phillips' own admission, a Palestinian NHS doctor gave her preferential treatment because of her vote on the Gaza issue. It's not just two-tier policing. Britain has become a country with public services infected by corrupt sectarian patronage. Third world behaviour. And that's exactly right what he said at the end. It's sectarian. In other words, judging by your religious beliefs, your religious stance, political views are affected by all this. Now, that's shocking on many levels. And I'll say what is the most shocking now to me, which is not the most obvious. I've seen some stupid, as I said at the beginning, decisions made by governments. Really stupid. You think, isn't it obvious that was either going to go wrong or was going to cause controversy? Now she's doing this, what was it called? This one-woman show, is it? An Evening with Jess Phillips. Good God, people have it bad if the only thing that they can think of going to see for entertainment is Jess Phillips on a stage gobbing off about herself and her career. Things are looking bad in the entertainment industry, I must say. Now, she must have planned this and had a script and rehearsed it and all that multiple times. She couldn't have just walked on there and did her off the top of her head. It doesn't work like that in a theatre. because you have technicians who have to know the lighting cues, know when to do this, know when to do that. So it's never going to be off the top of her head she's done it. She would have had to plan it and rehearse it. That's what's more shocking. How didn't she realise this minister, who people rely on, the public rely on to make decisions on their behalf and fight for their interests in Parliament, how didn't she realise that saying that would be extremely controversial? Do you get where I'm coming from? You'd have to be pretty dull in the head and out of touch, completely way out of touch with what's going on in society to turn around and say that. You really would. Now, this is the problem with this Labour government. And I was brought up to be a Labour voter. I was always Labour. I only ever once voted Tory and regretted it. But I tell you now, I'll never vote Labour again. No matter how long I live, I will never vote Labour again after this debacle that's going on with this law. But also, apart from her being a complete nut dimwit that didn't realise, or anyone round her didn't realise that, wait a minute, I wouldn't say that, Jess, I wouldn't say that, it's going to be a bit controversial, because what you're saying is that you were given treatment specifically because of your views on the Gaza issue. That's not going to go down well, because it's sectarian, which it is. What would have happened if her surname was Cohen? What will anyone that's Jewish in this country feel like when they're going for treatment at an NHS hospital and the doctor is Palestinian? What is that effect going to have on them? Now, Labour have been accused before of anti-Semitism. They've been accused of it. Isn't that going to just confirm what they've said, that this minister didn't see anything wrong in the doctor saying or doing that? It's beyond belief that anyone could be so stupid as to say that. It's more horrific the fact that if it's true, because this is, don't forget, you've got to understand, this is her perception of what happened. But imagine if someone went into a hospital with blue lips and they couldn't breathe, they'd be pushed to the front of the queue anyway. Because, I mean, breathing is the sort of indication you've got to be seen straight away. But from what the doctor said, or what she seems to have implied the doctor said, a lot of it went on who she was and her stance on Gaza. This is getting totally out of hand now. Totally 100% out of hand. And at some point there needs to be some kind of crisis review on this government. Because they're leading us one way road to disaster. It's going to cause total anarchy and disruption in this country. And he can't go blaming, Keir Starmer can't go blaming the far right. The fact is, he and his government, and I know they inherited all this from the Tories, we know that, but they're making it 100 times worse. And we can't keep on getting told, no, there's not a two-tier system. There is multi-tier systems in this country. There is. Very much if you're white British, you're at a disadvantage. Very much if you're Jewish, it sounds like now you're at a disadvantage. But anyway, I'll leave it at that, my lovelies. But that is so bizarre, so totally bizarre that she even said it and didn't think that would sound controversial. What are we being led by?